So welcome back to All Stars TV, a brand new series of interviews as we build up to the 2024 edition. It's Sheffield, August 2nd to the 4th. Delighted to be joined today by one of a long-time player with All Stars and also now a committee member, Steve Baker, joins us here on All Stars TV. Steve, thanks for joining us today.
No problem, Craig. Thanks for the invite.
Pleasure's all ours. As we record this, we've just announced 95,000. It seems to be building at a ridiculous amount. The fundraising has just stepped up and up the last few weeks, and it's coming in a fast rate.
It's just phenomenal. Just this year is just, like you say, every week we're getting, in our little group chats, we're just getting more and more updates, and the total is just going bonkers. It really is. Just over the last 3 or 4 weeks, it's just gone day by day. You could even say, we were going by week, but sometimes it's like it's jumped 5,000 within a day or so. And it's like the money coming in and the total is just going to be phenomenal this year. I reckon it would be a record breaker.
Yeah, and we've had a few kind of big events, big fundraising. So I said there was one day last week. I think it went 80, 85, 90 in kind of like 24, 48 hours. It was ridiculous. It
was crazy. I mean, for what people are doing this year, hats off to them. They're really stepping outside the boat, coming up with new ideas. It's just like the guys from Help the Heroes have just done Snowdon, or I think it was, or the Three Peaks, or whatever they've done today, and they're doing it in full kit. People are just coming up with weird and wacky ideas. So yeah, hats off to everyone.
Yeah. We'll get to the 2024 edition in a moment. Let's say back in Sheffield. Yourself, yeah, All Stars TV debut. First time in front of the cameras with us. Can you tell us kind of your origin story? We've had it off a few of the captains and committee members. How you got involved with All Stars to start with?
Yeah, it was a bit of a strange one. I had a friend of mine, Ian Single, who played in previous All Stars, and he said to me, which one year in 2011, he said, "Steve, you've got to come and play this event." I said, "Where'd you get your shirt from?" He said, "Steve, you've got to come and play this event. It's called the UK Forums All Stars. It's a big weekend, loads of hockey." So I just went online, applied, didn't know really much about it because I didn't really follow the hockey forum side of it. Yes, I was a player, I played all levels, but I was just normally just to play. You don't look at forums, you don't look at stuff like that. And I applied and got accepted, and I was like, oh my God, this is an all-star weekend, not really knowing a lot about the all-star weekend. I went into full training mode. I went into all sorts. I was doing extra training. I was doing all sorts. And when you arrive there, you meet all these people and you're looking around and you're thinking, there's a massive buzz about the place. But you're looking at people and you're thinking, have I missed something here? Because this is not quite what I was expecting. But when you get in that change room and you're meeting people and you start to know the background of people coming on the ice for the very first time, and you step out onto the ice, and it is one big happy family. When I started, it was only 4 teams. And it was just a giggle. It was just all fun. It was relaxed. And yeah, over the years, I mean, I've always played for breast cancer, except for 1 year in 2017 when I represented prostate cancer, because I was diagnosed myself with prostate cancer in 2017. It's just all gone from there. And met with Dave, met with Hubs after like my 2nd or 3rd year. They said, "Steve, you're a great asset to the All Stars. Do you fancy joining the committee and come on board and, point us in help us out in directions and getting players that introducing players in like Steve Morio." I got Steve Morio on board. And yeah, I just love it. I'm so excited to be back. I took a couple of years out, but I'm just so excited to be back. And I just look forward to every year now because it's always new faces, and just can't wait.
So that playing since 11, committee since around what, 15,
13, 14, 14,
yeah.
15, run about the kind of time. Yeah.
And as you've gone on, how's your involvement? Obviously, you've kind of transitioned as a player to kind of more of it. You still try and get on the ice.
I try every so often, maybe sneak on for the odd shift or two to Dave's disgust, but I do try every now and again. But no, I mean, when you're there and you're as a committee member, you don't want to get on the ice because you're there to do a job. I'm a player liaison. I help all the guys with all the players, because I know quite a lot of players, so I know the levels they play. So I just keep an eye on the line levels and stuff like that. But you always get enticed to just jump on because you just get that buzz. The whole place is just a massive buzz. And yeah, I might sneak on for the odd shift now and again, and it might happen again this year, to Dave's disgust, but I might have to pay a fine for that. But yeah, it might just happen. You just watch this space.
And as we talked about with a few of the committee we talked to in last year's interviews, it's kind of a special buzz. You mentioned it yourself, kind of just the feeling and the buzz around the event. And you'll find this yourself. Once you're in, you're kind of in. It pulls you in, and then All Stars, you're an All Star forever.
Well, that's it. You just can't let go. I mean, yeah, it's just. I mean, I get so many emails from people that keep seeing the videos and the shirts saying, "Steve, how can I get involved? How can I get involved?" I'm like, guys, you just got to wait till next year. I'll let you know when the application's open. I mean, when I first started, it was 4 teams. Then we went to 6. Now we're up to 8. Yes, in the perfect world, we'd love to go 10, 12, 14 teams. But unfortunately, it's just not possible. Hence why we brought the Barbarians in, so they can represent more charities. But yeah, everybody each year just wants to get involved. And you see some old faces which, come back year after year because they know it's a buzz, and you get the new faces. And what I like is seeing new faces from previous years then coming back for their second year or their third year because they get the weekend, they get the buzzer, and it's just so welcoming. And I want more people to get involved in the long run. Even if you come down and watch one year, get the buzz, come down and join in. It's a great family weekend of hockey. It really is.
And you talk about expanding it with, obviously we say we've gone to 8 teams, and we have talked in committee about 8 is probably the limit in the current format. But this year what we've done is we've expanded the rosters, so there's an extra line. Yep. So we have a record number of All Stars this year. So again, more people, more fundraising, hopefully more money, and it's that fundraising. It's a hockey tournament, but it's the fundraising at the end of the day.
Oh, 100%. It's all about the fundraising. I mean, as we've always said as a committee, the ice hockey weekend is more of a thank you from us, the organisers, to you, because you guys have done all the hard work. You've raised all the money. You've done the weird and wacky things. As you know, I used to always have a pink mohawk and stuff like that, but you've all the weird and wacky. But the weekend is, yes, okay, everyone wants to win a trophy, but it's a celebration. And that's what I like, because people don't take it seriously. They come along, they let loose, they have fun, and just meet new people. And every year you end up, your Facebook at the end of the week, you're just getting all these hundreds of messages from people that are adding you as friends. And it's madness. And when you get all the photos, it's just lovely memories to look back on.
Yeah. So we talked about this year back in Sheffield, first time for a good few years. Obviously being in Cardiff out of necessity for, I don't know if is it still on the banned list? Can we still say the C word? I don't know if it was on the banned list last year, but I don't know if we could talk about it now. But out of necessity, we've been in Cardiff for 3 or 4 events on the spin, but now we're back in a position where we're able to continue the rotation and coming back in Sheffield and working with the guys at the Bauer Arena, Ice Sheffield. It's been brilliant to get that back in place.
Oh, it's phenomenal to be back up north again. I mean, when I first started, that was my first ever All Stars was at Sheffield, and Sheffield Ice Arena, the Bauer Arena, was so new then. And coming from down south to go up there and seeing this magnificent, building with 2 ice pads, and then meeting Richard over at Puck Stop. I mean, they've been fantastic. They've been supporters through various years. So my hat's off to them for getting back on board again. But it's a fantastic venue. And we always said in the long run, it was always nice to go north and south, because people travel all over the country. I mean, we've had I got a couple of friends, they've traveled from Dubai, to come and play in the All Stars, which is Kes. And then you get the guys from Belfast. So it's just nice to swap it around every so often. I mean, don't get me wrong, Cardiff have been fantastic to us. When we were going through rough stages with that, when we all had to go into lockdown and stuff and come out of it. But no, it's nice to get back up to Sheffield. I call it the home of hockey. People might disagree, but I think Sheffield is a fantastic arena. It's a lovely place to play hockey in.
Yeah. And in terms of this year's event, as I said, we've got the expanded rosters. What are you looking forward to most in terms of the weekend itself this year?
I'm just looking for that buzz. It's like a craving. You're hooked. I mean, as soon as that All Stars login comes out, everyone's like crashing on there to register, and then you get all the people talking that I've been picked. But it's that whole build up, and when you're there, it's just, I just love it, because it's just one big fun weekend. You come home with your sides aching from laughter and memories you'll never ever forget.
Yeah. And in terms of, say, since your first event in 2011, what sort of abiding memory of an event, or anything that sticks out?
I think probably there's been a couple of memories that I remember. Is my first one in Sheffield, because that's my first one, and I'm stepping out on the ice and I'm thinking, God, I'm quite, there's different levels. And there was one part, there was this poor girl skating down the wing who could hardly skate. And I thought, what do? I can't take the puck off of her. So I just laid down on the ice, full stretch, with my stick out ahead of me. And I just laid there like a sleeping policeman. And as she turned around for the puck, she just screamed and fell over with the puck.
Huh.
And the whole place just erupted. And that's what the All-Stars is all about. It was just about having fun and then playing hockey in the Big Blue Tent in Cardiff. So I've had the luxury of playing in all three rinks at Cardiff. But it's just those little memories, and just seeing people's faces, like Mia, who took the penalty shot to open up one of the events when we had virtually 120 players on the ice cheering her on. And it's just those little things that just really stick in your mind and just stick with you forever.
Yeah. If we were trying to convince, obviously, we had a great attendance last year in Cardiff. Hopefully, the crowds around Sheffield and what have you will try and come with their summer hockey fix. But if you're trying to explain what the weekend's about and to try and get somebody to come along to join us in Sheffield in August, what would your pitch be to try and get them to come along?
Oh, that's a good question. It's a family event. You've just got to come along, see hockey standards right from pro level right down to novice. You will just be laughing and giggling all the time. I mean, there's some good hockey, there's some bad hockey, and there's some terrible hockey, but no one cares. Everyone is smiling on the ice. So, if you want a fun day out, then please come down to the Bar Arena. You won't be disappointed, I promise you.
And as for people tuning in, it'll be Friday the 2nd is the launch party at the rink itself, and then the action starts Saturday 11. I think we're at earlier start
11 o'clock this year. Yeah, we've actually got a slightly earlier slot, earlier time this year, which is 11 o'clock. The first game will start, and we go right round to 7:30.
And then there's games all day Saturday, and then we finish the round robin Sunday, and then we've got our medal games on Sunday afternoon into the evening, and then presentations, and then blink of an eye it's over. But we're looking forward to it. As I say, back in Sheffield, for me, it's a car journey rather than a train ride, so it's good for me.
Not for me, it's not.
I appreciate your time. It's going to be great. I say that the fundraising as we stand, 96, I think, was the latest update from G this morning. That's only just going to keep going and going and going. So it's a fantastic job by the class of 24. Appreciate your time, Steve, and your work on the committee, and we'll see you in Sheffield.
Yeah, we'll see you all in Sheffield. Thanks very much, Craig.